Good morning, everyone. I'm just going to come on for a few minutes and stitch. I'm trying to get a little bit more time here on YouTube. And I guess what I need to do is back a little bit. Excuse me. Got in a little too close. Good enough. It's going to have to be good enough. So I put these clips on here and I'll show you. This is the section I'm done stitching the little hedgehog and everything out of the way. I'm done stitching these little patches and I switched the straight pins out to quilter's basting pins. They're a safety pin that has like a little bump out on them, so they'll go through the layers easier. So I finished these as far as getting the pieces stitched down with running stitches. I do want to go back in and put some more spirals here and there, do a circle and with a spiral in the middle, just randomly on here. But for right now, I really want to just get the patches of fabric and lace and stuff stitched into position. So these little clips like this, I got these, I don't know where I got them, but I like these longer ones. Usually you see just the little short ones, but these are more for quilting, I think. And they're awesome because you can put them on and it holds all the layers. So I'm at this patch right here, and I thought I would just come on and stitch these. So what I do is I have my layers kind of pinned together as I want them. But see, this would actually go like that. What I'm going to do is put a pin in the purple, and then I'll grab another pin to pin these two pieces together. So I remember how I want them to go. And then I'm just going to pin them off to the side out of my way through all the layers. That way they're there, ready. But I want to stitch this on, and I'm going to use the orange thread because I'm using the opposite or different colors depending on the fabric. So here you can see the purple was used to hold the orange piece on, and I'm using the orange to put the purple. It gives you that variety. So yeah. You saw the short this morning on this. But I just wanted to come on and do some stitching. I'm trying to increase traffic on my YouTube channel. I'm trying to earn enough money to get 2 of those IKEA cube things. So I'll have to drive to Charlotte to get them because we don't have an IKEA here, but it's only about an hour and a half drive up to Charlotte. So get Scott to go with me, do a road trip, go get me a couple of those cubes so I can put my fabric and yarn stash into the cubes. It might take me a while, but I'll get there. That'll give Scott time to finish the bathroom. And I did pull out a needle threader. Now, the fabric that I have here that's a solid purple, I think it's got some polyester in it because it's really tough to stitch through. Hi, Teresa and Safia and Anne. Teresa, I hope you're feeling better. I think I'm going to run these stitches up and down. So I just carefully fold this other half over so that I only have like this limited work area. And I'll come up from the bottom somewhere here. And I do work off the edge of the fabric. I'm doing a back stitch here just because I should have come in closer to the edge of the fabric. And then I just kind of ball this fabric up in my hand, work my way, try to keep the part that I'm going to be stitching in smooth. And then I'm just going to do a running stitch like this. This is going to be a pouch. I put a link in the original prompt game for this fabric. I need to move this pin. It's in the way. Let's move this pin. It's easier just to pull it out and move it than try to get the thread on from around it. But and I put a link to the pattern. It's on the All People Quilt website. But I'm thinking I might look and see if I've got a zipper that's the width of my actual fabric here, and just keep my pouch a bit bigger, so I could use it as a project bag. And I am doing some of this stitching here on my cutting table because I have this mat here, and I can just stab the needle in. So if you even got one of the smaller cutting boards, you could just slide it underneath your piece. Let me show you what I mean. You can get these at the Dollar Tree, these littler mats. So if you only have a little mat, just slide it up under, and that gives somewhere for your needle to push off from. And I am just going to keep going just as the thread wants to here. Kind of a straight line. And I know I'm not going through the purple fabric, but that's okay because I want the interest of the fabric. I mean the thread as well. I need to bring you guys over here closer. There you go. Geez, she's sitting way over there. No, it's just got a single straight pin in it. And I did go through, and now I'm going to go over about 1/4 of an inch to the next row where I want to do stitches. I just turn the whole thing. And then I'm just going to go in and out again. I can't work on this for long because my fingers start hurting. The only thing is this piece here still has straight pins in it that's holding the patches on. So occasionally I do poke myself. I guess I could have switched those all out to the safety pins, but it's easier to maneuver the straight pins. And now I'm catching the purple fabric where I wasn't the last time. And I don't try really, really extra hard to make sure, my stitches are opposing. So like I have a stitch in between where I skipped a stitch here. So there's a stitch, an open space, a stitch. So technically I usually would do no stitch, a stitch where there was no stitch before, but I'm not being that particular. So yes to Safia, this is going to be another bag, but I am leaning toward leaving it the size of my front piece. I just have to look in my stash and see if I have a zipper long enough for the width, because what you're going to do is you're going to fold it on the long side so the two short ends will be brought up and you add a zipper. And I've got plenty of the purple fabric that I was going to add as the lining. So I got plenty of that. Of course, I could use orange for the lining if I wanted to, for contrast. And if my material starts looking like it's getting a little wonky, just pull your straight pin out and smooth it back down. See, I'm working off the piece a bit. Now when I put this one in, I'm actually going to go in here, but then come out about 1/4 inch away from that stitching and start another row of stitching. You don't want to pull too tight or you'll pull your fabric up too much. Oh, yeah, you could add an interior pocket if you wanted to as well. I had thought about maybe, I'm gonna see how tall my bag is going to be, and I might add a pocket that has, like, it's divided up where I could put a crochet hook in it. I almost picked up a remnant of vinyl, clear vinyl at Joann's the other day. I almost bought it. Scott and I went in there to look at that organic cotton, which it's a beautiful, very lightweight yarn, but wow, $10 for like 100-gram ball. And I know for sock makers that's nothing because y'all buy the wool. And see, I'm getting a little wonky. It's okay. Some of this is going to be covered by the other two pieces. And my stitches are getting a little longer because I'm trying to talk and stitch at the same time. I was watching this gal. She took an old frame and she put an eyeball in it and made it real creepy for Halloween. It looked really cool. I shared it. I think on over onto Facebook. Right, I'm going to turn it again. No, that's for the thread, not for paws. There you go. Let's move this too, because Howard's getting awake enough to like deal with stuff. Yeah, if you show that either Thursday or Friday, I know that Heather was talking about doing like a needle book or needle pouch or hook pouch herself with her piece. So that might give her some ideas. If I leave this size, it'd be a nice size. And I think I would like to add some beading to it too. As long as I stay, away from the seam lines, I could add my beads. Because I have that mixed pouch of beads that are a little Tupperware like thing. Sounds like it's raining. Said we were supposed to get some rain today. I'm going to take my pin out, smooth it back out, and put the pin back in. The fabric will kind of walk along. I'm going to have to do a lot more stitching on this the next couple days. I'll have to switch between projects, between the knitting and the crochet and the stitching. And I got the bear I got to get working on too. Hoping to work some on that tomorrow. Coming over about 1/4 of an inch for the next row. And I just turn the whole piece, just constantly maneuvering it to make it easier for me. I'm going to go in and out, and then I'll probably take it to the back and tie this one off and get another strand. Let's take it to the back. And I'll just go up to this stitch, get up under that, wrap it a couple times if I can. Whoops. There's one wrap. Wrapping it around the needle a couple times, and I'm just going to pull this through, push the thread down, and then I just hide the tail in the batting, and then I'll snip it and put it in my little wonky flat ball jar that I got. Then we need another piece, a couple pieces of thread. Finish stitching this. I'll pull 2 more off. I know you're supposed to pull them one at a time, but if you hold the bottom here and then pull, it doesn't tangle on itself. There we go. The cross stitchers will tell you, pull one strand at a time and then put them back together. Yeah. Sounds like a plan for you. I'm being a rebel. Yep, it's raining. Bernadette's out there. She's got her doghouse, though. I have to go find her about every time lately because she's getting old and senile, dog. This came unrolled, so I'm going to roll it back up a little bit just so it's out of my way. And I'm just going to go where the next stitch would come up here from the back. And yes, I did tie a knot in it because this is a bag that's going to get tossed around and I want to make sure the knots stay. Yeah, who has time for that, really? Apparently they do. You've never done that, but if you watch somebody that cross-stitch, they'll tell you, pull them one at a time. It even says it in the cross-stitch magazines. At least it used to. That way they don't tangle together. I just maneuver it to where I'm holding the full 6 strands or 4 strands, whatever you got. And as I pull the 2 off, it keeps it from doing. This is kind of wonky because I'm doing it live with you guys. It's not quite as even as the others. But now that I looked through those cross stitch books last night, I'm kind of interested in doing some of those little teeny cross stitch and have them just like in a box or something that I could just say, oh, I want to add a chicken to that, or I want to add a little kitty cat, and have it already cross stitched, and then I could just stitch it down. The little scarecrow was really cute. I'm going to come over about 1/4 of an inch, give or take. Give it a turn again. But yeah, if you don't have a big mat like I have, you can go to the Dollar Tree. They have the little green mats for $1.25 or whatever they've decided to price them. I do miss it being Dollar Tree. All right, my piece is a lot bigger. Let me get the instructions for the bag or pouch. It's called a pouch. This is the pouch that we're doing right there. And they say for the exterior print, which that's what we're creating here, is 10 by 14.5 inches. And then you need a fat quarter for your lining. But I'm using this muslin that I had, and I can't remember. Mine's not that size. Mine's going to be bigger. I'm just using the fabric as it is, I think, because after putting all this work in, I don't want to cut it up. You just have to make sure you have a zipper the width of your fabric, because this gets folded together. And then you put a zipper along the shorter side of your big rectangle. When you fold it up, it's going to be, not as deep because it's folded in half. So I'm going to shop my stash. I buy zippers at the thrift store anytime I find them, or if I see like just a bag of various things, I'll pick it up. That's how I got that yellow piping for that one dress. I'm going to go ahead and take my pin out because I don't need it anymore. This fabric's not going anywhere. You just don't want to go much smaller or you won't have room to put things in it. You could even turn it into a pouch and just leave it open at the top, you know, if you don't want to put a zipper in, or you can use it for something else, you know, maybe do a pen roll or a crochet hook roll or a journal cover. You could turn it into a journal cover for a fabric journal if you wanted to. I'm doing the whole project as a way of making the pouch up. I'm still thinking this will be a gift for somebody. But we'll see. Might love it so much I don't want it to go anywhere. How big is mine? Well, it's about, see, I need to get the fabric over here. Mine's about actually 13 wide. And then this way, it's about, let's put this at the 0-ish, 22 by about 22. So when it's folded in half this way, mine will be 11 inches deep by the, 13 wide. Of course, that 13 wide is going to be smaller because you'll have a seam on either of these sides. So the bag would go this way. This would be the top. This would be where the zipper is. And so that would be a fairly big project bag there. And if I put a pocket in the inside of it, I could use it. It could be just a fun bag. You could even turn it this size, you could turn into a tote with a handle if you wanted to. Yeah, perfect for a project bag. I don't even know if I'm close, but it'll be close to that. And we could box out the bottoms, you know, make the bottoms squared off so it had some depth. That would shorten the bag though if we box the bottoms, where you basically are cutting a little square out of the corners and box it so it's like a tote bag. But yeah, I think we'll have lots of ideas coming in. We may change from making the pouch, but the instructions are there. And somebody wants to follow the video and actually make the pouch. There are also on that website at All People Quilt, there's all kinds of bags. So you might want to just look around over there and just, if you get stuck on something, you can just send me a message and I'll look at them, because I can look up the patterns. If you choose to do something else, I can look at the pattern, and when you get stuck, I could help you with it. If you want to make a different kind of bag or pouch or whatever, I've got plenty of fabric. I could even just grab fabric and make whatever it is in just plain fabric instead of, you know, putting all this work in and on every single one to do examples. You know what I'm saying? I probably clear as mud. Uh-oh. Oh, and look, Sophia went and got the pouch instructions. Yeah, it's called, what did they call this one? Project Simple Zippered Pouch. I love the fabric with the children on it. I love that fabric. But you can see from on the list when it says materials for one pouch, look for what it says for the exterior print. That's what this whatever this fabric is, that's what you'd be using that part for. This is taking longer because I'm chatting. Chatting. I was just chatty last night, and Scott wasn't very chatty, so I said, that's why I went live in that dark video. Sorry about the lighting last night, but I was sitting in the bedroom. I think Scott needs to retire. I think he's just too tired to go to work anymore. Of course, if he needs to go ahead and retire, I'll probably have to go back to work just so I'll have health insurance. Probably cost me everything I make just to pay for the insurance, but I think that's the only reason he's still working, is to keep me in care, and I hate to see that. It's sweet, but he's just so tired all the time. Worry about him. All right, I think this will be my last run with the orange, and then we're going to put the piece of lace up next and stitch it down with something. I pulled out of different variegated just to add some interest that's got pinks and purples in it, because we kind of have some pink in the background, because one of those purplish pens was really more pink. Yeah, this patch is going to have to do it. I've already done one for this morning, but now I've run out of tail here. I was looking at, Raul did that live with Anne and did the question and answer session on how to build your channel, which was really good. It's on Anne's channel because she interviewed Raul. But I went to my analytics, and it says most of my people that watch my videos are watching them between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. I found that pretty interesting. And here I am early in the morning. So those that have come and watched in the evenings, thanks. And I was watching K3N this morning. She's doing another kind of wonky quilt block, which looked interesting. I'm just wrapping around the needle a couple times. And then I'm going to push the thread down to the fabric. And then I'll hide the tail under some of this batting. I'm not going all the way to the front. I'm just hiding the tail in the batting. This can go in the little jar I went and dug out. And I am done with that needle for right now. And I think I'll grab this here to put the lace on. And I'm using this kind of variegated with, it's like cream or white, and then a light purple, and then a purple. And I've already got some on a needle. So I'm going to knot that up and flip this back over. And I want to get my piece of lace from the little set here. And then I'll have my little teeny piece of orange to do in a minute. And I don't remember how I had it. I might put this off this way. And I'm going to get another pin to hold it in place. And now when I stitch the lace on, I'm going to go in the opposite direction. So I went this way with that. So now I'm going to stitch this one on in the opposite direction just to add interest. And you can't hardly see that lace. It just kind of disappears. So let me get this back here. It's a little warm in here with that light on. I'll probably go off at 8 o'clock. Is it really 8 o'clock? Still seems so dark because I haven't opened my curtain in here. And I got this pin in my way, so I'm going to move that to the other side. Once I get a couple rows of stitching in, nothing's going to move. The lacy pieces are perfect areas to add additional things like beads and buttons because they really pop on the lace. I just think this would make a really fun project bag for like carrying my dishcloth projects with me. Maybe I'll put a loop on it so I can put it on my wrist, you know? Put a loop on one end. Make it like a wristlet. I think that's what that's called. Oh, my leg's cramping. Ouch. I'm just doing running stitches. I sign off from here. I guess I'll have to get my day started. I've already made the bed. I haven't taken meds though yet. Why can't I remember to take the meds right after breakfast is beyond me. They get taken before it gets too late in the day. Well, most of the times. Sometimes we'll be on Craft and Chat and it'll be like noon and I'll say, oh, I haven't taken my meds. And I got your envelope ready to go. It's in the front room in a handmade card. So you might get that recipe by Friday. I just got to put it out in the mailbox. We're supposed to get paid today, so I guess I'll have to pay bills at some point and go get food in the house again. I can probably take that pin out now. It's in the way. I don't really need the little green mat because I have a mat. I'm going to take that out. But having the mat under there is nice to, get your needle to come back up through the fabric when you kind of tilt it. I haven't been to the Dollar Tree in a while to see what they've gotten in, for the new season. I have one tote in the back that's all things to alter. Hi, Heather. And I don't know if you guys want to do some altered items like that. Like I've got mini egg cartons. I have little wooden boxes. Do you remember the wooden box phase? We could do some altered boxes. Those make fun little gifts, and you can put a gift card in them, and then they have the little box to use for, trinkets or whatever. I mean, those little boxes that you can get at Michael's that are like this big, like 2 by 3. I'd like to use that stuff up so I can use that tub for something else. And I know altered egg cartons were a thing a while ago where you could do Happy Mail, decorate the little egg carton and then fill each little section with little bits from like your stash. That could be um, a fun thing to do, and then swap or just send out in Happy Mail to people that, might enjoy some Happy Mail. Of course, it's a little bit bigger item. The postage would be a little bit much, but you'd be able to share the love. Maybe somebody just needs a boost and to get them back to crafting. Or you could decorate it and fill it with candy. It doesn't matter. I'm just stitching on one of my clusters. I think I'm going to stay on long enough to finish this cluster up. And then I'll go get my day truly started. It really has already started, but you guys know what I mean. Getting the meds, putting the mail out to be picked up, that kind of thing. And see, by using this variegated yarn thread, it kind of brings the lace back to the surface a little bit. And then I'll push this to the back. And there's a stitch right there. You just can't see it. And I'm going to try to, gotta turn it where I can get this needle up off the fabric a little bit. I left too short a tail. Carol would say, just put it through by its rear end like that. And then I can hide some of the tail in the batting. Maybe. There we go. We'll snip that. All right, so now we got just the skinny strip of purple, not purple, orange. Now, do I want it to go this way? I think I do. And that won't take much to stitch down because there's not much there. And because these stitches go this way, I'm going to go ahead and do the same direction in this, but in the darker purple. So I need some purple. Do I have any purple left? I have the variegated stuff. I can use this. This is another variegated. It does purple, dark blue, and green. That'll look good across there. Oh, yeah. Don't need to catch anything else. Well, I asked, since Greg was home yesterday, I said, what do you think about the new Beetlejuice movie? I'd love to go see it. And he's, yeah, me and Mary are talking about going. Mary's his photography friend. And I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll go by myself. And Greg was like, well, you could go with Dad. I said, your dad doesn't do movies. He doesn't. And Scott agreed that it's not really his thing. And then he said, but I'd go with you if you want me to. So he would go, but he doesn't care about movies. He doesn't enjoy the experience. So I guess I'll go see Beetlejuice by myself. If I do, I'll go to one of the early movies, early showings, because on the site it said at the Regal, which is over near the Michaels where I used to work, they start showing it at like 10:15 in the morning. So I could go in the morning and then get back here well in time. Yeah, it is too. And see, I don't buy any food there either. I just buy the movie ticket and go see the movie because that's what I'm paying to see. And I don't need all of that basically crap that they serve in the theaters. There's nothing healthy on that whole counter. Nothing. Nothing. All right. I need to bring this closer to me because it's a tiny little piece. So I'll bring you guys over here so you're almost in my lap. And I'm going to go back and forth across this little strip, and I'm going to go farther into these other two. That way it'll definitely hold the strip on, and you'll have some areas where you can see the stitching better. All right, and I'm going to go in that line and come up over from it a ways. Then I got to turn the whole thing so I can get it to where I'm holding everything right hand, and I know I'm probably blocking your view. Sorry if you see my PJs. I haven't bothered to get dressed yet either. Oh, your husband falls asleep. I think the last movie Scott and I went to see was the Downton Abbey movie when we still lived in Greenville, and he fidgeted through it. We used to go to the movies when we were dating, but that was like 40-something years ago. And he's not real into Beetlejuice either, to be honest with you. I'm going to go ahead and take that pin out now that I've got a couple rows in here. I can smooth that back down as I go periodically. And this thread is rolling on itself bad, so I might have to pull that out some. Let's see here. Maneuver this needle over about a 1/4 inch from that row, maybe a little bit more. See, I smooth it, and then I'm holding it kind of in place up here with my thumb. And then I just work it across, caught on the clip. These little pieces that are a little bit more fiddly to sew down, but I think they add just the right pop of color. I'm going to move over some and start back in the other direction. And if you put a pin in it, it helps, but get it smooth, straight, and hold it with your thumb. Oh, I'm trying to get worked up in here. Boy, the TikTokers and Instagram shorts or reels or whatever they are, they've all jumped in on the Beetlejuice wagon. Boy, I get a bunch of stuff of people doing the makeup for Beetlejuice or Lydia, or, you know. Sometimes I wish I had a girlfriend close by that could go do things like that with me, but I don't. I like the lady up the street, but I can hardly cope with her intensity level. She blows me out the water. There's no getting a word in edgewise, and whew, she's nice, just intense. I'm going to take this to the back because I'm getting on this really skinny thing. It's hard to turn when you're, so I do what is it, poke and jab on the very last little bit just to get this stitched down. Whatever works for you. I want to get the other edge a little bit. And the stitch will be really close together, but that's okay. Uh-oh, see, I caught the tail. That's something that can happen, but it's so thin, I'll just work it back out. There we go. I don't know if you can see. I have to put it here so I can see. A beetle goose. That is hilarious. Somebody's creative mind ran amok. Uh-oh. When that happens, don't pull. Just go back and figure out why it's not enough. And if you pull it back, and then try to pull just the tail through, sometimes that's enough to free it. Little things you learn along the way. Yeah, it's rolled on itself. I got to pull it back some. Because if you try to pull and pull, it'll just tie a knot. There we go. Got it freed up. I'm fighting it. I might do a few stitches past this time just to add some interest. Oh, there goes my neighbors. The little guy must want to go to school because I'm not hearing him screaming. Or daycare, whatever it is. I don't know if he's at school age or not. Whoops. I get this done. I'll open this up so you guys can see how much more. I have 4 more little patches to do on here. Hi, Barbara Chicken Pot Pie. How are you? Or as they say here, how are you doing? What was that guy's name down in Louisiana? He'd say, I'm glad for you to see me, I guarantee. Oh, my father-in-law could not stand him because he would say, Got to put a little wine in it. I don't know why my father-in-law couldn't stand that, but he couldn't stand. All right, I'm going to move you guys back. And once I get all my patches down, then I'll go back and add more embroidery and the circles with the spirals in it, that kind of thing. So this will be covered in stitching by next week. I might do a short of doing the meandering fly stitch. That's what I call it anyway. All right, I'm going to find a little stitch here, stick my needle under it, wrap it around a couple times, pull it up, and then hide the tail just in the batting a bit. And I'll clip this off, and I'll save this needle to do some more in a bit on my little piece of batting that I stick needles in. I have to put the thread inside the box because the cats will get it. So these still have to be sewed on. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I've already done this end. Hi, Vicki. So you can see I'm getting there slowly. And I really do think I will leave mine this size. Once I get all the embroidery done that I want to, I'm going to stitch my layers together. And then I don't know what kind of quilting I'm going to do on it or what yet. But I might just stitch the layers together around the edge and then tie the middle. And I might do a video on that or a short live. But see, this is the kind of thing I want to add is some more spirals here and there. And some will be on the patches like that. But then others I might stick like in a clear area just so they pop. And then I want to do the circles next. And then do the meandering fly stitch. I'll show that to you again. It's this one here. You see that looks like seaweed. I want to do that on here as well because I had so much fun doing this rice bag, which I'd love to do some more rice bags too because these make great project bags to tote with you as well. I need to learn to do the twisted fabric because mine's falling apart. I got to go watch Catherine and see how she does that. And then once I get that done, the embroidery and stuff, I might take the time to stitch some beading, do some beading. As long as I stay away from the edge and the top, because see, this will all get folded in half this way. And then the zipper will go here. You can't really see because I've got so much excess batting. But that'll be a pretty good sized bag. And like I said, if I box out the bottom here, you know, and give it depth, it'll be slightly shorter, but that would give me some width to put things in here. And so anyway, that's what we've got so far. And I'll keep plugging away at it. I'm even tempted to stitch over with black thread some of my circles. The hashtaggy looking circles, just do that with black just to add more interest. And this zipper gets sewn in by hand on here. So it might not be as scary as you think because it's easier to manage. And they do a fancy stitch for the zipper edge, which I've never done. So we'll do that probably next Monday if I can keep stitching away at this. So I'm going to let you guys go, and I will see y'all later at 1:30. And good luck with your bridge game, and talk to you then. Bye.